teams. When you give them this much engagement, when you give them these tanks that can snowball out of control and be unkillable like the Ornn, the LPL teams will pull the trigger. They'll look for the dive and they recognize it as a viable option to get things going for them.
And on top of that, ultimately it comes down to what options you have available to you. In game one, BLG didn't have that many options once they were in a deficit, because their only option was technically fight around Zach. But if Zach goes into a fight that he's never going to win, it's a lost cause.
And I know Dom was doing some research on this match. As we mentioned, since the match between IMA and Team WE, which sent IMA to Worlds, IMA have not been able to win since. Now they've changed into Bilibili Gaming. During that time, however, after that, they were only able to pick up a single game victory. So now's the true test. Can Bilibili Gaming finally take down Team WE? Or I think the better question to ask is, what needs to change here for Bilibili Gaming coming to Game 3 to do just that?
Just before the break, we kind of touched on it a little bit. Amazing Jay is the man we're looking towards here for Bilibili, because when they went up against Vici, he was just that strong on the Camille pick. He can do it too if he wants to go towards a Jarvan top. He has a lot of champions, surprise, surprise. I mean, he tried to play the Vladimir early on in game one. Vladimir's a great pick if you look to play towards it. I just want to see what he was looking towards. What does he want to play in game 3? Because I think you give him anything, you can play towards him.
I mean, frankly, in all honesty, I agree with everything you're saying, Raz, but I don't think it'll happen. I think we can give them any sort of matchup, we'll make any sort of jungle duo, and nothing will happen for the first 10 minutes of the game. Maybe you'll have a skirmish here or there, maybe like 1 or 2 kills goes down, but neither Bilibili Gaming or Team WE are the type of teams that do anything during the lane phase. They both have this mentality that we're the better team fighters, and they're going to wait until post-lane phase for anything to happen. So I think that's where the focus actually needs to be, is that you would just assemble the best 5v5 comp and just execute it correctly.
I think she's telling me Klepto GP. I think that's what's happening.
That's definitely what's about to happen.
Well, let's see what's going to happen in game number 3. Currently tied up 1-1. Can Team WE keep their dreams, or will Bilibili Gaming be able to pick up a win since 2016? For now, though, before we send it over to our shoutcasters, let's check in with Amazing Jay about his thoughts on making playoffs.
上个赛季没有进季后赛，我觉得特别不好吧。我们这个赛季会吸取上个赛季的教训，然后更加努力的打好成绩。
And honestly, it looks like they have learned a lesson, especially in that second game, as they literally just ended it from 1 push. So they can keep doing against that, like that, against some of the weaker teams, and 100% outwork every single time.
We were thinking about it before the set even started, and we said whoever has the early game control and early game tempo should be able to translate that to mid game. Maybe get towards the team fighting with a 2,000 gold lead. Doesn't need to be significant, because both of these teams excel at that part of the game. But WE started with the lead in the last game, and BLG just ran them over with a single team fight. And I guess the plans can change here for them as well. They get the Klepto GP, they get this outscaling sooner. I think what they should realistically do, Team WE, to prevent that is not just play a tank in the top lane and give them Gangplank in response. I think 957 should put on those carry pants and play something like the Gnar or the Rumble even in this game. Otherwise, BLG may well do the same thing again.
I mean, I totally agree with you, but it was also a massive mechanical misplay of WE just to keep running in and dying to allow Bilibili to get that initial push. I love that sign. I love it every time we see it. But BLG into the second game, pretty much just rinse and repeat what you had last time. Get that instant engage from the jungle from SKS really was when he started to shine. But Gangplank taken away, you have to do that. Camille as well, so double band. Keep respecting Amazing J. Alistair as well from WE.
I wonder if the Sejuani is going to be the thing that they obviously are currently looking at for the first pick as well. For BLG, it works so well for SKS in the second game that there's no reason to give it to Melon. There's no reason to not have it on SKS. They now pick themselves a tank in the jungle role also, which empowers carries in the top lane.
On the opposite side, it was Zoe, Kog'Maw, and Gnar as their bans, and a first pick of Sejuani. So again, exactly what I wanted to see from Bilibili. And they also, on the blue side, do get the luxury of the first pick. On the opposite side, Vladimir and Kalista. So 2 high priority picks, I should say. And Vladimir as well.
Definitely true. The Vladimir being locked in, though. Can be top lane, can be mid lane. Something that will not be revealed just at the moment. They're on the red side of the rift, so I would expect that the last pick being the other part of that flex will be what we see. As BLG continue the rest of their draft phase, unsurprisingly, a lot of similarities.
Now waiting on the opposite side, BLG, the Varus lock-in again for Jinjao, getting that instant engage from there. And to be honest, this is just the same comp that was run by BLG, and if it ain't broke, why fix it?
The major difference is going to be that they can't have Gangplank. They won't be able to have Camille as well, so you have to keep your eyes peeled on where Amazing J wants to put his priority? Is it a tank? Is it a carry? He kind of has to carry. It feels like he needs to have some kind of control of the lane, but didn't necessarily need to in the last game, just had to scale up.
So what type of picks are we looking for here? Because there's only mostly bruisers and tanks left open in that side. I mean, Nard's gone, Gangplank's gone, Camille.
You could go something a bit more crazy like the Fiora if you would like. I'm not entirely for that decision, but I also think that Rumble is the other champion that is being forgotten about currently.
Oh, yeah. That's absolutely a choice.
Super strong at the moment if you have Airy.
And we'll have to see what the W matchup will be as well as we approach the next stage of bans. It was Jarvan for the jungle, though, for Melon once again. And Cho'Gath actually banned. So that's also an opportunity for Amazing J now off the table. It's both a tank and does a lot of damage and provides a bunch of utility.
Yeah, one of the few tanks that can provide that damage. There's still the opportunity for things like Maokai up in the top lane as well. Ornn is still present if they choose to look towards that. 957 did play it in game number 2, so he can revert once again to the pick. I don't think he was the problem. As I mentioned, I'd like to see him empowered, so they could still pick a tank if they'd like. The combo hasn't really changed. There is another one that you probably should have thought about, Paul.
Yeah, but
Bruises in the top lane.
True, usually see it as a reaction to a tank matchup though as well, but Alawi unfortunately gone. Won't get to see that from Amazing J in this game. I don't even know he'd practiced it, but it seems like a lot of players in the top lane have tried the pick. 957, I watched him try it.
He is an Alawi player.
Yeah, didn't go particularly well, but he has practiced
but he plays it.
Very true.
That much is at least known. And indicative of banning the Alawi, you mentioned it, it's good in the tanks. Well, there's a chance that WE are going to pick a tank because the Alawi is banned. And that's the other way that you would interpret the Alawi being removed off the Rift.
Good possibility. And 957 also took the Ornn to the top side, which is still open if they want it now. As they look towards the next pick. Caston was the final ban again, of course, against Xie. That guy goes absolutely off on that pick, as we saw in the first series against OMG. And Thresh, actually, for Ben. What do you think about this one?
I know that Ben is one of the best Threshers you'll ever watch play League of Legends, but I am not too sure as to why they would prioritize it when there are other options available. Now, one of the most common matchups when Kalista Thresh was running around is actually just the Tahm Kench as well. Protects the Varus and does well into the Thresh if the hook ever connects. I think they've just picked it, honestly, to control their lane, to actually just be a Kalista Thresh duo that has constant kill threat and can control any kind of 2v2 from all of the pick that they have. And that does indicate to me that Melon should probably be looking on the bottom side of the map, mid/bottom side, to control that area and let them shine.
What is your opinion then, the fact that BLG just picked up Braum instead of Tahm Kench? Seems like Tahm Kench would be a great pick there to deny some of the hooks coming through from Ben.
Yeah, I do think that Tahm Kench may have been a better option. When you look at the whole composition of Team WE, you can't really stop a Jarvan from ulting, but you can stop the damage as Tahm Kench, whereas you can't necessarily stop all of these things as Braum. It'll still be decent. It's still a big tank, and the important part is that Kalista won't be able to do as much damage. Whether it's a top lane Vlad or a mid lane Vlad is to be determined, and he'll probably block whatever spells come out of the mid laner Braum, just because most of them are skill shots of some kind. But WE have options to counteract that fact, and they also get the counter for mid.
It will indeed. Ornn will go to the top side, and it's Mazahar finally shows his face. Not on the ban list, and also finally picked as the final one for Xie into the mid lane, playing into Azir. Now Jarvan will go into the jungle there as well, as we just get the final bit of swap-ups. But yeah, we'd have a fair bit of team fighting from both teams, which is no real surprise. But more importantly, we have Engage from BLG.
Yeah, we do. We have a bit more early game as well from WE responding to what they've seen with the Varus being thrown about. If Melon and Mystic actually remember to swap their champions. They're not too busy doing their runes. We'll see what happens. There we go. You're right. There's a lot of team fighting. Both top laners actually currently have Ignite as well, so there is a very real chance that it's a double unsealed spellbook top lane matchup, and the way that Amazing J believes you should play against the Vladimir, and I don't disagree with him, is start Ignite yourself, play aggressively yourself, and try and control that with kill threat. It does mean he has to go unsealed spellbook though.
Sure, but even if you have kill threat there, that's something good. Get the Ignite down early, can't heal as much. Beats him in the 1v1 trade.
Exactly, and that means that instead of having something like a Grasp of the Undying or an Aftershock or whatever you want it to be as an Ornn, you do commit to Unsealed Spellbook, which gives you the benefits of the secondary tree being resolved regardless of that fact. So you still get the extra HP and a bit of extra attack speed, I believe it is in this case. But you actually just get extra cooldowns. You get to have the Ignite, you get to have lane pressure that the other Keystone would have compensated for.
should be better in the top side for that matchup. Now in the mid lane, actually get to see the Malzahar play into the Azir, so 2 of those picks in the big top 4 right now of the mid laners.
Yeah, and Malzahar was also picked into the Azir, so Xie with the counter once again. WE being on the red side 2 games in a row as well. Letting Xie shine. Every time WE wins a game, he seems to get that MVP. He has been stepping up to the plate with Melon in the stead of Condi. 957 also has an opportunity this time to do some carry.
Yeah, Melon has been doing well, but occasionally he will still get caught out. To be fair, last time it was from a random Janna just appearing, flash igniting, and then hitting him with the W. But yeah, you do also have to be aware that that will happen. The one that really got me was the game-winning fight where he flanked as Janna to hit the Java.
Flash tornado, yeah.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, absolutely BLG should go first in that one.
BLG was
It's getting louder though, yeah it is. Some people converted in the audience. They always like a winner. I can say that for certain.
I'm not sure that we can pick a winner in this particular set, Pulse. Yeah. Coming into it, we had WE as heavy favorites. They were 1-0 up, and then suddenly they were steamrolled by the BLG roster. Actually just ran over, no stopping, and they won a game. Now, coming into the third, I mean, it's always a possibility.
I am still inclined to say that WE, well, not only the favorites in this game, but most likely to pick up this second game because it was off a very big mistake. And it was an ongoing mistake for like 2.5 minutes where they kept on dying, but it was a mechanical misplay because otherwise they should have won that game. They had the advantage. They were doing the WE thing where it was airtight play, unable to really get into that defense from WE were BLG. So if they do that again, then great. But it's actually that one time, that one opportunity that was opened up was the one that proved to be fatal.
Yeah, that's true. WE have just started their training regime once again, though. So they're not in best form. They are still fighting to get there, Mystic said in the interview. So we'll see if the mistakes continue to happen. Because, yes, I think WE in their best form won't make those mistakes, won't give those opportunities over to the BLG roster. In this set, I don't actually think that that is the case. I think that WE may still make mistakes, and the question is more so, can BLG compensate for that?
And Melon, ooh, the cheesy level 2 gank into the bottom lane.
We said it was a possibility. It's a Thresh Kalista, and they ticked over to 2 first. It doesn't look like the gank will happen. Melon will have to go back towards his blue buff, presumably, and continue the rest of his clear, but in a Thresh Kalista lane, the fact that they win is already good. The fact they have lane control is already a big positive. You can accelerate that with a single kill, with summoner spells even just being blasted out of the way by a Jarvan appearing there suddenly.
Yeah, it was 100% just worth the shot there. Meanwhile, SKS will be taking his red buff. He's in the battle to death currently. He does have smite, so he's absolutely fine. And then we'll see if he actually looks towards Crab now, or whether he walks towards the mid lane.
Oh, that is a reset. The red buff.
That feels bad.
Uh-oh.
And he'll have to go back to base now as well, so that's a massive delay on his jungle clear.
That's a bit of a disaster.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he wanted that extra auto attack because he was kiting away so he could get the fleet footwork there in the jungle on Sejuani, but he went for a full clear top side.
He kited,
wasn't healthy.
Yeah, he kited too far away to not take damage from the red buff. He was trying to maximize his health, but if he was going to recall after the red, then he didn't need to do that, especially at the end of the red buff's life. Yeah. So I feel like he was going to go from red to Raptors and wanted to maximize his HP, and instead, he just recalled because he didn't do the red. So that slows him down by quite a lot when you look at jungle clear speed. Level and experience that he has as well, he's just level 3, whereas Melon's already halfway to 4.
Yeah, Melon, to be fair, won't know this is happening, so it's not something that W can exploit currently. But at some point, he's going to see that SKS is down in levels against him. I think Scry's Bloom did spot Melon there. Yeah, he's going to have to jump over the wall with his flag drag combo.
Yep, SKS aggressively going forwards to try and prevent any action in the middle lane, but you're right in terms of not being able to exploit it immediately, but Melon getting a Scuttle Crab's extra gold into the pockets of the Jarvan, and every time you can get a Scuttle, not just for vision, but for that extra gold, it's a big win as a jungler, and you'll take that for Melon in the bottom lane, especially after he wasted some time looking to cheese down in the bottom lane at level 2, and it still feels like they're close to even.
There's actually no real advantage anywhere on the map currently. I'm looking towards top side as well. Amazing J and a 957, as you said. Rusty to take the Unsealed Spellbook, both of them.
There was a flash in the middle lane though, Pulse, so as far as control goes, Athena is handling Xie quite well.
Is indeed. He was also getting that poke down there as well. So Xie will have to burn that. Now he's burning the TP to get back into lane. He's also taking Unsealed Spellbook. So, small bit of advantage there for BLG, especially if SKS wants to look for a gank towards that mid lane. Let's get that one down.
Yeah, for what it's worth, pushing him out of lane, Athena was just kind of doing as expected with the heal as a summoner spell advantage, but still good poke nonetheless to make it work. Mystic might get stunned.
And jumps out of the way. Good little dash there from Rhodes. So everyone pretty much just farming. So we are looking towards now the mid game when the fights start erupting, because as Frost was saying on the analyst desk, we don't really expect to see anything in the first 10 minutes of the game, especially from these two teams. When they go for these compositions, they're just going to farm it out.
I'd say for the most part, they've also drafted to be a little bit quiet in the early game. There are still definite points of strength, though, where I'd say things can change. And it's not before 10 minutes. It's at level 6 is where I would say things will open up. And Malzahar having ultimate, being able to roam around the Rift and use that ultimate to lock down kills, even just staying mid lane with an electrocute Jarvan that could come to him. Something that you have to consider. If Ben's ever unlocked as the support, he's a threat. So picks, very much a prevalent feature of WE's team composition. You're looking at those guys and saying level 6 is a place where the map could open up if they choose, and that could be very soon for them. And for the other side, BLG, same thing applies with a Sejuani hitting level 6. If he wants to even go top lane under the Vladimir, there's so much crowd control, and there's only so many things that the puddle can work on.
On the flip side, though, the stopwatches have just come online. It is past 6 minutes, so they go for those ganks, and they will initially be burning stopwatches before they burn summoners. Now in the bottom lane, that's a nice bit of damage onto Ben, and constantly pushing this one in. However, I think when this wave crashes, and if it CS perfectly, Jin Jiao will actually be either even or ahead. No, he should be even. Mid lane, though, still pushing in. First backs from both those mid laners. Lost Chapter, and getting towards the Stinger and Nash's Tooth as well from Athena.
Mystic
just going outwards.
Walks up river because he doesn't have a support. Tries to contribute in some way. Ben's also not going back towards the bottom lane straight away. He's running down towards mid.
Doing a Baolan.
Actually, and he's gone for boots of mobility. Now he's not quite doing the Baolan because he's on the bottom side. BLG also have vision on the top side, so I am okay with where Ben's currently pathing himself if he has awareness or knowledge of where that vision is. He's just looking to control the river.
Yeah, he's just going to spot SKS there as well, and lots of pings going down, so everyone, all parties, notified of where the current support and jungler is, respectively between WE and Bilibili Gaming. Top lane, amazingly just be farming it out. Basically, even the farm maze is like a wave behind, but nothing really to write home about.
Not a good start, though.
Pushing up as well. No, it is not, but hasn't really looked for those all-in possibilities as well with the Ignite.
And it's just super calm, really, so Vladimir having control of the lane's nice to have, and you have to wonder, that was a flash from Road.
This could be big. There's a flash away from Mystic, very much needed. Ben has his own flash, but would rather not use it, though SKS does get the stun down with the ultimate being burned. Road, Ben flashes away right into the blast cone, back into the bottom side.
That was super aggressive from BLG. I like the fact that they've gone for that. SKS used the ultimate, and they forced both flashes out of the bottom lane of Team WE as the end result. And at the end of the day, whilst it doesn't result in kills, it does result in some pressure for the BLG 2v2 as the wave crashes. The threat of a dive is very real. Athena's even coming down, actually.
Teleports almost instantaneous from both of the top laners. Ben stepping up now, knows it has the support, but it's a 3 versus 4 big minion wave here. And we'll get some damage on top of this tower, but won't be able to stick around for the demolish. Hook comes out, doesn't connect. Even Melon came down, but it will mean free damage and free farm for 957 in the top side.
Yeah, amusingly, at the end of this, the dive never happened, and BLG weren't able to take the opportunity. Sejuani doesn't have ult. Ornn's ulting,
Amazing Jay, double knock-up on this one. Neither of them have flash. Mystic drops low. Good heal coming up, but Ben, he's within kill range. Mystic, and Ben may drop here. Ben is the sacrificial lamb, though he's attacking Road. Blocks the tower aggro, and the ultimate Chains of Corruption for the kill.
The chains to pick it up. Xie is currently looking towards Jin Jiao as well. I don't know if he's going to be able to get him because Road is the real target.
Oh, he knows. Winter's Bite gets him with the Malefic Visions. That's going to go onto Armenia, but in comes Athena. Goes into the perfect timing, and he pops back out. Can he get the kill onto Jin Jiao? He's actually opting to run away. There's another Malefic Minions, but the stopwatch once more will survive. Just kidding. Dragon Strike to the back of the head in from Melon. Now he's out of mana, out of a flash, out of everything, but he's got a stopwatch as well, and now BLG will finish him off.
They're just delaying the inevitable. Stop using the stopwatches, WE. They're already over. BLG push bottom lane. They come back a second time as the wave crashes, another minion wave, and then they go to threaten the structures. But this fight has been so long, so protracted that they're back. The bottom lane of W have already returned to defend their structure.
So I actually don't know if that was worth for BLG, because yes, they got the kills, but Vladimir just spent the entire time taking the turret.
It's worth it for everywhere that isn't top lane for BLG, because we get to see the replay again. Nice little secure here onto Ben. Mystic tries his absolute hardest to run away, and Jinjiao ticks 6, I believe, from the kill. Immediately levels it up, and then ults to secure Mystic. It looks stylish, but it was actually necessary.
Yep. Very much needed. Was not in range for those auto attacks, but now I am looking towards 957 because he did the top laner thing. He sat on his island, he farmed up, he consolidated resources. Now he's got 100 farm to 73 in the form of Ornn, and he cut the tower, which is 650 gold. So the guy is absolutely gigantic right now.
He is very fed. And you have to hope that WE, right now they're doing the Infernal Drake completely uncontested by BLG as well. That's just a back timers advantage that they have. You have to expect that the Vladimir will actually rotate around the Rift now. Will start to impact everywhere because he is strong, he is influential, and this factor should actually help either the Malzahar, which again has kill threat, except for the QSS of Athena. I think he should go bottom. I think he should actually wait for teleport 957. He'll have it slightly before Amazing J. There is a wave where there is a window of opportunity to make the play. And they haven't changed their lanes up, BLG. WE. They haven't actually put Mystic and Ben to the top side of the map if they want Vladimir to take turrets. They actually want to rotate the Vladimir down.
Yeah, and he has the opportunity to do so. He's got the Frost Queen's claim completed, and the Phoenix Codex as well. Does a lot of damage, so I'm expecting to see a potential engage by him. There's also a ward just behind that Baron pit that could be used as a teleport ward. SKS is actually waiting around the bottom side. It's pretty smart considering that 957, they see the option for him to come into the bottom side.
I feel like everybody knows that everyone is here right now, and it's a stalemate. And SKS is going to opt out of the fight. Melon pretends that he opted out, but really it was a double up. He's back. They think he's out, but is he really?
Both junglers have spent a lot of time down here. So sat in their respective bushes, waiting for something to happen.
Well, I mean, ultimately, 957, whilst he hasn't influenced anywhere, is still doing well in the top side of the map. He is at a massive point of power, has the advantage, and is continuing to push that advantage into the next structure, into the top lane inner.
As the ultimate just needs to get towards the lantern, but he can't. He was knocked up, stunned, CC'd, everything, and the kitchen sink thrown to lock him down.
No chance to get out alive, and BLG, they will pick up that turret that just rewards for the play they made earlier. It was patient from SKS. You'd almost call it foolish if it didn't work out, but it did.
5-2. Got the wave pushing in the mid lane as well, and the creeps from Xie will actually take the first couple tower shots. Should definitely be able to take this tower, unless there is a contest from BLG. Only Athena is here right now.
957 was also threatening on the flank, so Melon feels safe on that side of the rift, and he is going to be perfectly fine. Mystic being dead is the ultimate problem. If BLG rotate, if they try and bring everybody to the area to defend it, they can actually defend it, just because it's a 4v5.
Yeah, Brom just shows his face. It's like, actually, maybe not. But the tower is now very low, so either a Herald or another push from WE will knock it over, and BLG very much have to be aware of that fact now.
I also like, just to quickly point out as well, Athena, he's gone for Presence of Mind, Precision Tree, which again you'd expect as Azir to have the Precision Tree, but besides the Alacrity, which gives the attack speed, he's gone for Presence of Mind as the secondary. It means that he can build something like a Nash's Tooth into straight AP, and against a Malzahar, where you can't afford to get any kind of mana regeneration item, you need to buy a QSS. I quite like the decision here to go into that tree to compensate for a bit of extra mana regeneration, especially in team fights.
Yeah, it's nice. Doesn't need to itemize into it himself necessarily, and actually the headbutt just dodged out of the way of the hook there as the teleports come down. It's a double teleport. Now Amazing J is not in a great place right now. Meta Grasp will lock him in place. 957 as well turns up, and the Ignite came down. Down goes top laner of Amazing J. So it will be the tower over to WE. Likewise in top side, Road and Jinjiao will give it their old try.
It was clean from WE with the dive on the bottom side, and it's a nice movement and trade from them, but realistically, I feel like that was a forced trade, knowing that BLG are going to be on the top side of the map, knowing they're going to push down the top lane outer turret. They've also moved now towards the Herald, so they're going for more than one objective to try and come out on top overall. However, WE have started to rotate. It looks like, however, top lane is a higher priority than the Herald.
I'm just trying to figure out what they're doing right now, because it was blue trinketed, so they know 100% that SKS is on it.
Yeah, they just
Melon
opted
walked
out
over
of
and
all
was
of
just
it.
like, actually, no, we won't try and contest it. Walk towards top side. They weren't going to push the inner tower anyway, and top tower was already down, so WE just kind of let it all go.
And Mystic's still visible on the bottom side of the map. He's taking the outer turret. SKS, very smart, immediately places down the Herald and summons it. And BLG threatening the mid lane. Varus ultimate is the engage tool. If they follow that up, they can get kills or they can threaten the turret.
It's a large chunk of the tower taken away. Unsure if they'll be able to get it on this push, however. Melon is off to the side. He'll rejoin the team shortly. And that will be the push there from Bilibili. But it has evened up the health totals on both mid lane outers, which is really the big point of contention that we've seen. Infernal's also up in just over a minute from now.
And they're staying around, threatening still on this mid lane outer structure. Vladimir and Malzahar have to hang out together to prevent this tower from falling. It feels like this means WE wants to fight, but BLG are going in first.
Yeah, BLG are the ones who want to initiate the fight. Tosses over the old bowler there from SKS. We'll get the stun down onto Ben, but it's not followed up upon by BLG because the tower wasn't down yet.
They don't need to do anything, BLG. The top lane is pushing in and hitting the structure right now. 957 isn't farming it. He's staying around in the middle lane, so that's a lot of wasted gold, wasted resources that WE are just not getting. And sooner or later, this turret falls. WE just incrementally losing more and more.
Melon is behind. I think he has been spotted out there. Flag drag moves on to Amazing J, but he's being zoned away now. 957 is actually the one to engage here. Nethergrass down onto the Ornn, but Amazing J knocked up, knocked down. He'll fall to Mystic here. 957 goes into the Zoni's Hourglass. And a flash forwards, knock up from Melon as well. He may need to double back now, but keeps up the offensive. In comes the Lantern as well from Ben. Mystic gets the hops, the jumps, and picks up another kill. 2 kills over to WE.
And WE make the play. They go forwards this time, capitalizing on a misposition of BLG, and that coincides with the spawning of a second Infernal Drake. Once again, they had the first Drake. It just feels like the gods have appeased. They're very happy with Team WE, that you can have these Infernals if you win the team fight before it.
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate that in the 2 games where he had control, though SKS walks right into a death sentence. Signs his own, and in comes Amazing J. Oh, he take this, Ben. He gets knocked up very close to death, but unable to follow up on this one. And the amount of spears at him. Good flash out of the way. Mystic is outplaying the heck out of Athena. Now he has to back away. Conquering Sands for the kill. Melon, he's going to get spotted out by Ornn, but Amazing J meeting up with his mid lane. A 957 walking back, Tides of Blood zoning away, but the chase is continuing. Ben is very low. Amazing J looks for the flash. Brings up the pillar, unable to get the stun down, though 957 is brittle, misses that charge. In comes Road from the sideline, Sanguine Pool. Road, what else has he got in the back? Concrete Sands, last auto attack. Athena gets the kill.
The slow connected from Ornn, and that was all Athena needed. He's ramping up on this Azir to be very large, and ultimately the trade feels close to even. Whilst a very disjointed fight overall, lots of skirmishes back and forth, and not a single 5v5 to be seen. But that is a 4-0 Azir.
And frankly unfortunate, because WE, they had the dragon, all they needed to do was back away, but it was just like, hey, we've got SKS, surely we should be able to win that next engagement, but BLG played it very well, and specifically Athena on that Azir. We can see that one more time, all the way from mid lane.
Amazing J's on the flank as the tank, so 957 finds the chance to go forwards, and he finds Athena. It doesn't necessarily mean that Athena's going to die, the front line starts to come through, but because Amazing J was caught on a flank, that's when they change targets, they kill him, and then continue to go forwards and pick up Road, who has no door. From here, Infernal Drake, it's theirs to take. SKS decides that after the Infernal Drake, he wants to have a cheeky int as well. So he'll do that. And then the secondary fight breaks out. Man, we need to stop watching this replay. I can't talk for this long. But we're going to go again.
Yeah, we can keep going. We had the teleport in from the backside, in fact. Don't worry, Rusty, I'll take over. So
right,
Jin Zhao, he leads the charge.
You know, if this horn actually hit the Gromp as well, Ben would have died.
That's true, it would have aggroed him.
Happened.
Yeah, Gromp would have gotten angry. But yeah, the amount of spears in Jin Zhao was absolutely absurd. Fantastic flash from Mystic, dodged out of the way, and we won't even get to see the rest of the replay. We lost the good part of it.
That's tragic.
Come on,
so
we had
much
all that
replay.
build up. We were like, okay, we have to go through the middle, probably
like
get to
having
see the
no
dragon die, and then, yeah.
You can't have no drop in an EDM song, man.
Come on, guys.
It's all about the drop. That was a letdown.
It absolutely was. Well, WE, they still managed to pick up 2 Infernal Dragons. The next one's going to be Cloud, so not as much priority on that one between the 2 teams. But it's still BLG who have very much control over this map.
They just have such a big mid laner pulse. Like, look at the CS difference as well.
Oh, yeah,
it's
he's pretty big.
All going in favor of Azir right now.
kills, gold, CS. And while 957 had the advantage earlier, he spent so much time with the team trying to make something happen. He flashed in, he made the play, but now he's actually falling behind. Yes, he's still got the advantage over Ornn, but he has to be the carry to try and stand up to the Azir right now.
And I will say that Ornn being mostly useless starts to become a problem. He's a crowd control bot now. He's not actually that tanky. SKS out of position.
Once more, Road here with the protection though, and in comes the hail of arrows. Melon jumps right on top of Jin Zhao. SKS falls, but traded for Mystic, and the bot lane from WE. 957 in place as well. The Brittle is absolutely insane. He'll have to flash away during the Sanguine Pool, but Road is on the offensive, misses the Winter's Bite. Meanwhile, Xie getting chased down. The lockdown once more from Amazing J. You just cannot get away from Ornn. Athena spoon-fed another kill. 3 kills for 1, and BLG, they might as well go for Baron.
Straight in front.